My name is Rafael, you're watching Rock and Roll Garage, and today we're going to talk about what Neil Peart's widow and daughter said about Rush's return. But first, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment. Well, the late legendary, one of the greatest drummers of all time, Neil Peart, passed away in 2020 at the age of 67 after years battling cancer. His final show with Rush happened in 2015, so 10 years ago. And now, 10 years after their final show with Neil and 5 years after Neil's passing, Alex, Lifeson, and Geddy announced they're back. And the big question, obviously, that we already answered, and you can see it in the other video here in the channel, who will play drums? It's a German drummer called Anika Nilles, and she will join them on this tour that they already announced couple of dates in North America. And the big question was, what about who's going to play drums? That answer is made, and what Neil Peart's family think about that? Do Alex and Geddy have their blessing? The answer is yes. And this is what Neil Peart's widow and daughter, their names are Carrie Nuttall-Peart and Olivia Peart, said in an official statement. They said, "We are thrilled to support the 50-something tour, celebrating a band whose music has resonated and inspired fans for generations, and to honor Neil's extraordinary legacy as both a drummer and a lyricist. Neil's musicianship was singular, compositions of intricacy and power that expanded what rhythm itself could express. As both drummer and lyricist, he was irreplaceable, inimitable in his artistry, and unmatched in the depth and imagination he brought to the lyrics that inspired and moved so many. He profoundly shaped how fans connected with him and the band, giving voice and meaning to their own lives. As the band enters this new chapter, it promises to be truly unforgettable. We are excited to see how their vision unfolds and to hear this legendary music played live once again." So Alex and Geddy have the family blessings to continue, and I think it's really important because obviously they're probably gonna receive some money for that, and it's going to be good for the family as well. And I truly don't believe that Alex and Geddy are doing for the money. Many people might think it's the contrary, but maybe a bit about the money, but I don't think it's that about the money. It's about getting back on the road, and playing live music, something they did for decades. I mean, think about it. If you love something, if you love your job, you like to do it. And imagine if that suddenly stops, you would be bummed about it. And a musician, man, it's not a 9-to-5 job, it's their lives, they live music 24/7. And when, you can't go on the road anymore. And I mean, obviously Rush has some hiatus couple of times over the decades after Neil lost his daughter and his wife in the late 90s. They stopped for a couple of years until Neil could get back on track. And then obviously in 2015 the band came to an end. Neil battled cancer and sadly passed away in 2020. And during the past 5 years between Peart's death and this announcement, they played a couple of times, like in a South Park celebration show, and at the Taylor Hawkins, the Foo Fighters drummer Taylor Hawkins tribute show. They also played a few Rush songs, and they felt that energy again. They felt they could come back, and obviously there was always this taboo about Neil Peart. How can you replace Neil Peart? One of the greatest drummers of all time, who is constantly up there with John Bonham, being featured in lists of the greatest drummers of all time. And it's really hard, but I don't think they're doing it for the money. They're doing it for their nature, you know, like for example, Paul McCartney. I mean, Paul McCartney doesn't need the money for, you know, he's not doing for the money, you know, for 60 years already, because he doesn't need the money. He is extremely rich. He does this because it's what he is. He's a musician who loves to play music. He loves to play live and connect with the audience, and to, you know, show all the songs he wrote. You know, what's the point of writing a lot of great music and not showing to fans up close, you know? And that's why I feel that, and I believe that Alex and Geddy are doing it because they can do it and they love it. I don't think it's that about the money, you know? And I feel happy for them because, I mean, they're still young if you compare to, you know, the Rolling Stones, and they still got a lot of years ahead. They're still great musicians. They still playing great. And, you know, they're gonna give new generations like me a chance to see Rush's legacy being shown. Obviously, Neil Peart won't be there, and nobody's gonna, you know, you can be the greatest drummer in the world, you won't be Neil Peart, obviously. But I'm sure if they're going out, they know that the new drummer is very good and she can handle it, and it's gonna sound great, and it's gonna be a nice tribute to Neil as well. So I'm excited about the tour. I'm not that kind of people. No Peart, no Rush. Obviously, if you think about new music, I think it's hard if they would make a new album, but you know, just to go out on tour and celebrate and, you know, be a kind of tribute to Neil as well, because there was not a special show like the Taylor Hawkins tribute, you know. Peart passed away in the beginning of 2020, and then the pandemic hit and nothing could be done live and etc. And, you know, I'm excited about it. I'm happy about it. And it's cool to know that the Peart's widow and daughter gave their blessing to them to continue. So that's it. I hope you liked the video. If you want to read more, go to the description and visit the article I wrote about it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and visit rockandrollgarage.com. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.